Right, hello and welcome to this episode of Lowdown Garage in the cold. So, today we are going to be wiring a fan relay in. Now, it's something that I struggled with myself and I didn't find many videos on or anything that made sense. I'm going to try make this one make sense. A bit of a tutorial, bit of a let's see what we're doing sort of thing. Now, we've got our fan switch. It's an 80-something degrees fan switch, and that's this right here. Now, it just ports into the side of the radiator there on that little plug, and when that there gets up to temperature, that is going to initiate the connection across those two prongs there. So, and then obviously all we need to do is we need to somehow, between there and the fan, put a connection with 12 volt power to it, but you can't direct 12 volt power and it's got to be fused as well. Now, I do have an original setup and that's this here. As you can see, it's a bit dodgy. I'm going to use that relay still, and the fan is tucked behind there. It's a pusher fan, because when I've swapped this cart, there's not a lot of space, as you can see. You can't really get a fan in there. I know that configuration is positive, negative, and that's the correct way around for the fan to push because I've had it on before. Now, we used to have it wired to a switch. All we're doing is we're just changing the configuration so it's wired to this switch here. But obviously that switch will operate itself instead of me sitting there and going, oh, it's overheating. I'm going to try pull the wire in to some sort of configuration so you can figure out what's going on, and we're going to try fit the temperature sensor first, because if that doesn't fit, there's no point in me doing any of this. So let's figure that one out. Right, now if you're curious, this right here is a BMW Z3 radiator for the M52 variant Z3. It fits right into the E30 even with the standard mounting points, and it's got this little port with a 6mm Allen key inside of it. This temperature sensor right here, that is a temperature sensor off an E30 fan switch. Don't know what E30 came with electric fan, probably ones with AC, something like that. But I'm just hoping it does the job. Now, I'm hoping not to lose too much coolant through here. Obviously the system's fully bled, so we're just going to try slacking it off and swap it out as quick as I can and hope for the best. I feel like this needs a seal. Alright, that went better than I thought, and it fits. So there's his old one out. Looks like it had a bit of a seal. Anyway, there's the switch installed. Now obviously we're going to have to nip that up a bit, but you get the gist. Right, so the fan switch is now installed. There was a little sort of plasticky rubber washer that goes on the end. So we've got that fit and tightened up. Now obviously it goes into a plastic housing, so you can't do it too tight. Next thing is figuring out the relay. Now I figured this out previously, I've kind of forgot. So the situation here is, on your relay, it's a simple 4 relay. It's a very generic 12 volt relay is this. So what you've got, oh wait, you got your the 12 volt. No, I've got confused. That top one's your 12 volt output. This one's your general ground. This one is your 12 volt power. And this one is your live. Now, this has to go to the switch. And then the switch, to complete the circuit, needs to be grounded. And obviously when you flick the switch, that's going to create a circuit through the car's body, the earth, and to this 12 volt relay, which is obviously also grounded. You're creating a switched power through not a 12 volt live, and then the relay switches in the 12 volts. That's why it's, you know, the best thing to do, because you don't want to be running the 12 volt through the switch, because that's not what you do. So I'm wanting to relocate the relay closer to the front of the car now. So I'm going to want to tuck it down here somewhere. Now, 12 volts, the 12 volt comes from the battery up here, which is here. There's my 12 volt. So I'm going to have to extend that wire, and I just want to tuck it and run it a bit nicer, because originally it were all just sat here and it looks really scrangly and rubbish. So let's get to some wire extension, some soldering, and then we'll relocate it, plug it all in, run it up and hope for the best. I'm just going to move the coolant bottle out of the way so I've got better access. That'll do. Looking like we're going to secure the relay to the back of the headlight. So there's a nice little hole there. Put it there like that. That'll do the job. So let's get that sorted. Right, so this is our 12 volt power wire. Now obviously we've got the to the terminal, the fuse, and then we had this original link here. Now that's no good because it's a house connector, so that's me being a bodge. So we're going to fix that and extend it because we need this wire to be a bit longer because we're relocating the relay to the front of the car. So let's get on with soldering a bit of a longer piecing, and we've got heat shrink as well, so we're pretty legit. Right, I've found some more wire, so we're going to link this now and see how we do. Oh, it's been a bit of a struggle. I've really been struggling, but I've managed to get that join there. It's not the best by any means, but it's just this solder's the wrong gauge and I'm working with what I've got, so yeah. Anyway, let's get some heat shrink over that. There we go. That's what we like to see. Right, let's hope it's the right length now. Right, that's them wires run really nicely down there, nice and arranged. So now it's time to connect all the earths up. That's all these three here, they're going to go there. So let's get that. Right, so I've got the battery all connected up now with all the wiring in place, and well, in theory if I link that switch the fan should work, and if it does then that's fine, we can run it up and see if it actually triggers and works. So let's try that and hope we don't get shocked to death. So in theory, right, no happens, so I think we've done that wrong. Right, we're back after that slight mishap. Now, what I figured out was, what I'd done is I'd done the relay wrong. Right, we're back. The GoPro decided to die for no reason. So, right, we are back. Now, as I was explaining before the GoPro died and before the torch died, what we've done is, what I had done when it failed was basically one of the relay requires two positives, so it requires a fused 12 volts and then just a constant 12. They're both pretty much the same thing. I'm not too sure why. Anyway, let's not question it. Anyway, I put one to ground and it didn't work. So what I've had to do is I just had to switch the wires over and extend one of the other wires as well. I've tucked it all nicely now as well, zip tied it in. You can't see it from when you stood outside of the bay. Obviously there's the switch we've installed. The relay's down there, just there on the bottom of the light. Anyway, so now it's just time to get the just get some tape around the wire and make it nice and neat, and then I'll be able to go in and get a bath because I'm freezing again. Right, next task, took this long ignition, this is full of the ignition wires, so this needs tucking back. I'm going to try and tuck it up there somewhere. Just try to keep the engine bay as clean as possible, so just yeah. Right, we're back an incredibly long time later. That's all tied up and neat now, and we've just got to plug the ECU in now. Obviously ECU plugs there, the mounting plate's there, and here's the precious ECU. It's the Jake No Pop DervTech ECU. Yeah, that's what it is. It's actually a, what is it? It's an MS41.0. So the .0 being the slightly older generation of the ECU. MS41.1 was like the one that a lot more people want because that was a newer OBD compatible or something, but I don't care because these ones are cheaper. So we're gonna mount it up there somehow now, so let's get it plugged in. Just gonna go get some mouse mat, make this a bit more decent. Right, there it is. That is the bottom part back on now, fully assembled, and looking pretty good really. It's gone together really nice, so I'm happy with that. The ECU's now back in its rightful spot. So, oh, and we found an old ASDA receipt as well. Look at this. Look at that. Pretty cool. Anyway, now it's to sorting this out. So just that section there needs sorting. That's going to be under the cover, so let's get it. Right, so here's what we've got to sort. Now, what I've just figured out, this is the end piece for this. So, as long as I can neaten it up, we're on for a winner. But the torch has died, so back to the phone. That now is looking pretty good. You can't see a lot of wiring. When I get battery in, it's going to be good. That's all plugged in. Quite happy with how this has come out. Right, I think we're going to get a bit of paint on this. Just where it's rusted there. Just going to clean that up. And then it'll be battery back in. And we're done under bonnet as far as that goes. Now, I don't advise doing it like this. This is a preventative measure. We will not see it. There we go, that'll do. All protected. That'll do the job. Looks not bad now, really. Anyway, we'll wait for that to dry. So in other words, we'll skip till tomorrow, and well, I'll show you the finished product, and then I think that'll be the end of the video. So yeah, it's another day now, and well, the paint has dried. Looking a little bit better. The battery tray is just that little bit less crusty. Now that there's looking a lot better, so I think we're going to get the battery installed and just make sure what I've done starts and works, and then that'll be that for under the bonnet really, apart from maybe a service when I've got all the rear ending, and obviously the front anti-roll bar needs changing as well to the new ones because we've got new anti-roll bars. But let's get the battery in and call it a day, shall we? Hope you enjoyed today's video of me fitting the fan relay. Now obviously we haven't managed to test it, but it does work, but we'll test it when it warms up at some point, but I can't do that because the exhaust's too loud. But we're going to give it a start just because we need to see if the wiring I've done actually works. Now obviously we've got the battery in. If you take a look at that, it's really good, much cleaner than the previous time I had it in, and it's not going anywhere either. It's nice and secure. So anyway, we'll give it a start up and hope for the best. I put all this back together in here, obviously. You've seen me do that. We mounted the ECU. All good. So let's hope it starts. Sounds promising. Might need some accelerator. now we know that it works, which is good news. That is it for today's video. So, if you've enjoyed me getting confused over a fan relay and starting my straight pipe bimmy, then subscribe for more. And comment, what do you want to see next? Obviously we're going to be putting the subframe in because it's lost its bum. That is going to be probably the next task, to be fair. Look forward to the Civic. Obviously we're going to be getting the headliner in for that. We're going to be getting, well, here's the headliner, we know that. That's the Freshie headliner. I kind of bent it a bit when I put it in the car, but you'll never know, I'll fix it. So yeah, there's the engine bay. There's what we managed to do. Look at that. Are we proud of that? Yeah, nice and clean. Looking good now. So that's all ready and reliable again. So as I was saying, like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more and see you next time.